good morning, and perhaps what is, actually it's Francis Mtalaki. Good morning, Mtalaki, and what is NASA's agenda today?
Well, good morning, Yusuf Ibrahim. The NASA Brigade will be here at around 2 p.m. at Mamangina Street. And we understand the preparations are going at Mamangina Street. And this is the last trip that the NASA will be making here as we head to the general election. Remember, tomorrow is the last day for the NASA Brigade to be able to marshal the votes. But here in Mombasa and the coast region, today is the last day that we'll be camping here. But more importantly, and related to the general election, rightly here I am in one of the functions that were organized by the Coast Media in terms of the prayers as we pray to the general election. Remember, the coast region is one of the areas that have been earmarked by the government as hotspots. And so the journalists from this region have organized a prayer meeting and basically to try and pray for this nation and the coast region at large. And now I wanted to involve Maureen Modi, who is one of the journalists, probably to dissect more. Maureen, good morning, and just tell us maybe the importance of having prayers, we as journalists.
I think being journalists, first of all, we're also citizens of Kenya. And when the country burns, we also burn along with it. So we have a right, we have a responsibility to make sure that we report the correct things. Whatever we portray outside there should be the correct picture of whatever is happening on the ground. And the importance of having such prayers is because we have our families around. We also have colleagues who have in the past been affected by election issues. Some have died, some have been killed during election coverage. So we just want to dedicate ourselves to God, before God, so that He can protect us during that time. He can guide us. He can give us enough wisdom for us to be able to do the right thing.
There have been reports by the political class and the religious leaders that the temperatures are so high.
Pardon? I didn't get you.
There have been reports and the press conference that we had yesterday from the political class. They are being blamed for the rise of temperatures, and basically the religious leaders have been complaining that maybe the political class are using some terms maybe to raise the temperatures.
Yes, there have been that problem. The temperatures are very high. Unfortunately, we get ourselves marked into all that because in as much as we are journalists, we also have our own preferences. So at times that comes out in how we make our reportage at days. So that is what we are trying to avoid.
Let's talk about maybe in terms of 2013 and right now. What is the difference?
Okay, the difference between 2013 and this particular election year is that, one, we have so many independent candidates. Two, there are so many candidates in general for all the seats. Three, most of us in media have been educated on how to go about covering the elections. So when 2013 we had some problems, at least now we know better what to do. But now we are yet to see how we can go about it. But some of the challenges we shall face also, this issue of fake news everywhere. You could be somewhere and then your boss calls you and tells you, I've heard this is happening somewhere, and you're there and it's not there. So we have to be very careful on how we report because there'll be so many fake news being peddled around, so much propaganda happening all over. So it's just us to remain professional and try as much as possible to do what is right.
Thank you so much for your time. And maybe I could have one Moses Bayer who is here, one of our very own cameramen from the K10 crew here. You rarely see him, but he does a lot. Moses Bayer, you have covered this election for the last 15 or 20 years you've been here. Paint us the picture of how the mood is on the ground, and basically, are you prepared for the elections?
More than prepared. I'm more than prepared because I've been in this industry for over 15 years. So I know what to do. I know exactly what to do, where to be. When covering, I know the hot spots in Mombasa and the whole of coast. So let us wait for that day and let us hope for the best.
And lastly, maybe what advice would you give to the other journalists, not from the coast region, in terms of covering elections?
What I can tell them is just to respect other professionals in the process, because As you are covering, you'll meet police officers, you'll meet IBC officials and some other security officers. When they give you instructions, please comply. Don't argue with them. Don't argue with them, because they definitely know where the risks are. So please just comply, be partial, don't start siding with any political group, and be a journalist.
Thank you so much, Moses Baya. Well, that was Moses Baya and speaking to us. And Yusuf, if we can just give you some insights about the NASA rally that is set to happen here at 2 p.m. Remember, this is one of the crucial rallies in terms of the Mombasa gubernatorial race, pitting the incumbent, who is Governor Ali Hassan Joho, running on an ODM ticket, as well as a Wiper candidate, who is Hassan Omar Hassan. The two will be present, and the 5 principles, or the 4 major principles, that is Wetangula and Mudavadi, as well as Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga, we understand they will be attending. So it will be interesting to see how ODM and Wiper specifically will be trying to muscle it out in terms of wooing the votes for the Coast region. And this is the battle for Mombasa, and more importantly, national politics. Coast region has a total of 1.7 million registered voters, but Mombasa seems to be the focal point, and whatever message they will be sending here in Mombasa today at 2 p.m. will be key in terms of marshalling the numbers and making sure that they have been able to consolidate a region that has voted overwhelming for Raila Odinga. Well, this time around, Jubilee have been coming, and so we'll be looking at the numbers as they come in. That is, will be on August 8th as Kenyans head the polls, and specifically the Coast region and Mombasa County. Yusuf.
Many thanks, Mtalaki, for that update. Of course, we're going to link up with you once that NASA rally at the Tononoka grounds kicks off. And something interesting, as you've already mentioned, Mombasa is one of the hotly contested counties. There is a serious competition between the incumbent and his Senator Hassan Omar. We're going to wait and see how, because both of them come from the NASA outfit, we're going to see how that will put, NASA in some sort of an awkward position. Many thanks, Mtalaki, for that update. As we prepare for our elections, which of course will be in 3 days' time, Rwandans are voting today in a